Two types of anxiety can come out of nowhere during the menopause, and chances are nobody's warned you about them. One can have you constantly checking symptoms and worrying about your health, and the other one can make you want to avoid people altogether. Does this sound familiar? Health anxiety and social anxiety are more common during the menopause than most women realize. In this video, I'll explain why they happen and share some simple strategies that can help them. So why is anxiety such an issue in the perimenopause and menopause? Well, it's very often due to the hormonal changes. It affects our mood, our stress levels, and our mental and emotional resilience. At the same time, unfamiliar symptoms suddenly appear, like flushes and sweats, to heart palpitations and sleep issues. And together, these cause a huge amount of worry and anxiety. But after general anxiety, there are two other types of anxiety that I have been asked about more often than not, and that's health anxiety and social anxiety. So with health anxiety, you get all these symptoms that you've never had before. So you start to worry about them. You feel different sensations in your body. You can just feel very, very strange compared to normal. One day you might get one set of symptoms. So you might get palpitations, you might get sort of general anxiety, you may start to get panic attacks, then these can go. Then another time you may get joint aches and pains, you may get digestive problems, you may get problems with your skin. And when all of these are happening, when you're generally just a little bit low or less, you've got less energy, you can start to worry that something's wrong. The other thing that can happen too is that you get these symptoms, you start to worry about them, you start looking online, you start Googling, which is a huge mistake because all sorts of horrible situations can come up. So you go to the doctor, you either feel that you're being dismissed, you get told it's all in your head, it's normal, just go away and deal with it. It may well be that you get tests done, and especially with physical tests such as joint aches and pains and things like dizziness and palpitations, you can get tested for these. And then what happens? The tests come back and there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. So it can be a really difficult time with all of this going on. You're told nothing is wrong, but you know something is not quite right. And of course, your brain then goes into overdrive. So the things to help here, first of all, learn what all the common menopause symptoms are. And we know things like joint aches and pains and palpitations are really common, and they don't come up in any test. So if you're more aware of the symptoms that you're feeling are common and a part and parcel of the menopause journey, that can put your mind at ease. The other thing to do is have a journal. So every single day, jot down what you're feeling, what your main symptoms are, so that when you do go and see your doctor, you have something there in writing that you can show them. Also, in this situation, especially with health anxiety, I would take someone else with you just to give you that little bit of support. I hear so many stories of women going to the doctor. They get more anxious, they maybe start crying, and that makes the situation worse. So have some support with you, and that can make all the difference. Social anxiety as well. This is quite a strange one. You might find that, suddenly you just don't want to go places, you start to turn down invitations, you can't be bothered, or you say you'll go and then at the last minute you think, I just can't go, I just want to stay here, I don't want to do anything. And if you find that you force yourself to go, very quickly you can become overwhelmed, you can become drained, and you just literally want to escape. So again, be aware of what's going on, but don't put pressure on yourself here. This was one of my things. I just got to the point I just wanted to be on my own and not bother with anybody else at all. So the thing to do here is don't shut yourself away completely, because at the end of the day, that can make matters worse. Don't feel guilty if you have to say no. Because again, if you start saying no to everything, you feel guilty, and that puts more pressure on yourself. So just take the pressure off. Maybe wait until nearer the time. If somebody says, the end of next month, let's do whatever, you've got maybe 6 to 8 weeks to worry about it and what's going to happen and how you feel. So leave invitations, yes or no, until nearer the time, so you can have a better idea of how you're feeling in the moment. Go to some, maybe the less stressful ones. So maybe meet up for a walk with a friend, because that's a nice thing to do anyway, getting out into nature, or just go for a cup of coffee, and leave the more stressful ones like the theatres or big parties or big gatherings until you feel that little bit more robust. The other thing you can do is maybe join a menopause group or set one up yourself, for all those of you who've done this, for all the menopause groups that I go and do talks to. They always say that having that like-minded support can make such a difference, and can give you a lot more confidence in all of these particular situations. Although these two types of anxiety seem very different, they actually stem from the same situation. So both of them that are driven by a brain that sees danger in everything. So your health anxiety, your brain, it scans the body and it's looking for danger that's lurking in any type of symptom you have. And with social anxiety, your brain is looking at the danger from other people and other situations that you may be in. So the results, though, are exactly the same. You become more wary of situations and people. You worry about things. You go over things in your head. So there's one, you think, oh, this isn't going to be very good. And half an hour later, your brain has worked it up into this terrible sort of catastrophic event. And that again will pile the pressure on. It will give you more anxiety and more loss of confidence. So what else can help you in this situation? Hydration. This is really important, and especially when the weather just now is really, really hot here. I know there's more and more cases of just general anxiety. So dehydration will put more pressure on your nervous system. So really keep yourself well hydrated with water. Keep your blood sugars level. And again, going long periods of time without food, your blood sugar drops, and that will trigger your nervous system going into overdrive. So eat little and often in this type of situation. You can look at herbal remedies, which can be really helpful in this particular time. We've got things like the herb passion flower. Magnesium is great for the nervous system. I recommend it for just about absolutely everything. And a good combination is the Passiflora spray, which this is great because you can take it with you, keep it in your handbag and use it as and when you need it. And our menopause support, which contain soya, phytoestrogens, and lots of lovely magnesium. So I hope you find this helpful. Both of these are really horrible anxiety to have, and they can really wear you down apart from anything else. For those of you that have experienced this, what did you do to help yourself? What was the main driving force? What did you find gave you the most anxiety? Please share your stories. You know I love to hear them, and your suggestions may help someone else too. So have a lovely week, and I'll see you soon.